Hi, this is Becky doing a story for Creative Therapies at Murray Hall Community Trust. Today's story is funny and it's a reassuring story for anybody who basically have the occasional worries. Okay, so are we ready? The Huge Bag of Worries by Virginia Ironside. Jenny has always been happy. She has a lovely mum and dad, a great brother, well, most of the time. She has a best friend at school and she likes her teacher. And then, of course, there is Loafus, her dog. But recently she has been getting gloomier and gloomier. It wasn't just one thing, it was everything. She worried that she was getting too fat, that Loafus had fleas and her best friend was going away. She was worried that she was getting bad marks at school, and she thought that she'd heard someone whispering about her in the playground. She worried when Mom and Dad had an argument. She even worried about wars and bombs. Until one day she awoke to find a huge bag of worries. The bag followed her everywhere, to school, to swimming, to the toilet, and it stuck by her even when she was watching TV. She tried ignoring it, but it didn't work. She tried throwing it away, but it always came back. She tried to lock it out, but when she got back, there it was waiting for her. It was like a horrible shadow she couldn't get rid of, but what could she do? She asked her brother for help, but he was busy with his computer, and all he said was, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any worries." After that, she didn't feel like asking anyone else. She knew she'd only feel stupid. Mum would probably say, "You've got no worries that I can see. You're a lucky girl. You've got your health, your friends, your family. What more do you want?" So she decided not to tell her. Dad might know what to do. But then she thought again. No, Dad had enough worries of his own. She couldn't ask him. Every day things got worse. The bag got bigger and bigger and bigger. She couldn't sleep because it kept tossing and turning beside her all night. To make matters worse, the bag dragged around her feet, so much that when she walked to school she was late and her teacher was cross. Jenny couldn't tell her what had happened, and anyway she knew what she would say. "You've got no worries, or too many worries. In future leave that bag at home." When Jenny told her best friend about the bag, she suggested that Jenny lock it up in a cupboard and try not to think about it. "That's what I'll do," she said, but it just didn't work. Even Loafus couldn't help. He tried his best and barked like mad, but the bag stood its ground. One morning Jenny woke up, got dressed and walked down the road. She'd had enough. The tears started rolling down her cheek. She sat on a garden wall and put her head in her hands. She thought she'd have to live with the bag forever. Then she heard a voice and looked up and saw the kindly face of the old lady who lived next door. "Goodness," said the old lady, "what on earth is that huge bag of worries?" Through her tears Jenny explained how it had followed her for weeks and got bigger and bigger and just wouldn't go away. "Now let's just open it up and see what's inside," said the old lady. But Jenny said she couldn't. If she opened the bag the worries might jump out, and who knew what would happen next? "Nonsense," said the old lady. "There's nothing a worry hates more than being seen. If you have any worries, however small, the secret is to let them out slowly, one by one, and show them to someone else, and then they will soon go away." So Jenny opened the bag. The old lady sorted the worries into groups. Jenny was astonished to see how small they all looked when they were out in the open. Half the worries disappeared because lots of worries just hate the light of day. As for the rest, the old lady put some in her shopping basket to deal with herself. Some she sent packing because she said they belonged to other people. Some she just blew a kiss to. And some she said they were worries that everybody had, even Jenny's family, her friends, and her teacher. And as for the bag, that one's a really lovely book. And I think it's one of those books that it's a very lovely story to tell, but as well it has a very, very good message behind it. Okay, so we all tend to have worries, and at times we can overthink them, and they can get bigger and bigger and bigger and grow into these huge, huge worries and concerns, where 9 times out of 10, if we just share those worries with somebody else, it can help us feel a lot better. And sometimes we do need the help and support of other people. And the first thing that we need to do is actually ask for that help or to tell somebody. So whether it's a parent or a carer, nan, granddad, aunt, brother, sister, teacher, or even somebody at Murray Hall, you are never actually on your own. And in that respect, your worries can always be shared. Okay? So have a lovely day, and we will see you soon for another story.